Hello and a very warm welcome to our special edition Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex. Your show where we bring you important unstart questions asked by the members of the upper house during the 250th session of the Rajya Sabha and the response given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain.
Hello for watching this edition of Question Hour.
So Rajat, let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. And the first question that we've picked up in this edition of Question Hour is from member Lal Singh Vadoria, and this one is to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And Mr. Vadoria has asked the government whether it is planning to set up skill development institutes on the lines of industrial training institutes in India.
Well, in the reply, the government said that it has approved the proposal for setting up Indian Institute of Skills in 3 locations of the country in Mumbai, Kanpur and Ahmedabad. The vision behind setting up of these institutions is to build world-class skill training centers by learning from and imbibing best practices from internationally renowned existing skills institutions. The existing skill ecosystem of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship consists of industrial training institutions, polytechnics, advanced training institutions, which are now also known as National Skills Training Institutes, besides large number of short duration skills training providers. Moving on, next question was asked by the member Anil Desai, and this was from Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. He sought to know from government whether it has any plans to help fishermen going to high seas and meet any accidental death or injury due to natural calamities like storm.
In the response, the government says that Department of Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying under the centrally sponsored scheme called the Blue Revolution, Integrated Development and Management of Fisheries, provides financial assistance to the coastal state governments as well as union territories to support the traditional fishermen for procurement of resource-specific deep-sea fishing vessels like tuna along with the liners, conversion of existing trawlers into resource-specific deep-sea fishing vessels, and also, besides these steps, in order to ensure safety of fishermen at sea, financial assistance is also provided under the CSS for supply of safety kits, which consists of GPS, communication equipment, echo sounders, life jackets, life voice, distress alert transmitter, life-saving appliances, also radio telephones, fish finder, backup battery, search and rescue button as well. The department under CSS is implementing a group accident insurance to active fishermen in alignment with the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana to provide insurance coverage to active fishermen registered with state governments and union territories. Now, this insurance coverage under the scheme includes 2 lakh against death or permanent total disability, 1 lakh for partial or permanent disability. The insurance premium of 12 rupees per fishers per year is shared in the ratio of 50-50 between the central government and general state governments, and 80-20 between centre and Himalayan or northeastern states, and 100% central share in case of union territories. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by 4 members, Sukhram Singh Yadav, Chaya Verma, Vishambhar Prasad Nishad and also Sampatya Oike. And this one is to the Ministry of Railways. And these members have asked the government about the status of providing first aid medical care available to passengers who may suddenly fall sick during the course of journey at railway stations.
Well, in a concise reply, the ministry said in compliance with the orders of Supreme Court and as recommended by a committee of experts constituted by All India Institute of Medical Sciences or AIIMS, instructions have been issued to provide medical box containing life-saving medicines, equipments, oxygen cylinders and other life-saving equipments at all railway stations and passengers carrying trains. Frontline staff, that is, train ticket examiner, the TTE, train superintendents, assistant station masters and other office bearers are trained in rendering first aid. Regular refresher courses are conducted for such staff. List of nearby hospitals and doctors along with the contact numbers is also available at the railway stations all the time. Next question was asked by the member MV Rajiv Gowda from Ministry of Food Processing Industry, and he sought to know number of mega food park built under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana till 1st November this year.
In the response, the government says that 40 mega food parks are in various stages of implementation under Mega Food Park Scheme of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, and out of these, 17 mega food parks have already been operationalized till 1st of November 2019. Under the scheme, for this, 246 projects have been completed or started commercial operations. A total of 7,61,797 employments, both direct as well as indirect, have already been created by 246 completed or operational projects against the total target of 5,30,500. No separate data as of now is maintained gender-wise or caste-wise in respect to employment maintained by the ministry, and no separate data on employment created in rural urban areas is also maintained under the scheme right now by the ministry. Moving on to the next question asked by member Kanta Kardam, and this one is to the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. And the member has asked the government about the details of the schemes implemented to strengthen Panchayati Raj in India.
In the reply, the government said Panchayat, being local government, is state subject and is part of state list of 7th schedule of the Constitution. Mandate for setting up Panchayat is provided by Article 246 and Part 9th of the Constitution of India. Accordingly, Panchayats are set up and operated through respective state Panchayati Raj Acts. The Ministry of Panchayati Raj supplements efforts of state through training of elected representatives and capacity building of Panchayati Raj institutions. Towards this, Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan, with objective of training and capacity building, People's Plan campaign to formulate one holistic plan, Gram Panchayat Development Plan for each Gram Panchayat, and unified grant of 14th Finance Commission for provision of basic services, including the computerization services at Gram Panchayat level, are being implemented by Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Well, the next question was asked by the members Dharmapuri Srinivasa and T.G. Venkatesh from Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and they asked government if it has taken a note of predatory pricing behind practice by e-commerce companies.
In the response, the government says that DPIIT White Order Press Note 3 of 2016 containing guidelines for FDI on e-commerce was issued on 29th of March 2016 by the ministry. However, allegations were made against e-commerce companies that the marketplaces were violating the norms laid down in Press Note 3 of 2016. Subsequently, Press Note 2 2018 was issued by DPIIT on 26th of December 2018 to provide further clarification on FDI policy in relation to e-commerce. Now, one of the clauses of Press Note of 2018 stipulates that e-commerce entities providing marketplace will not directly or indirectly influence the sale price of goods and services and shall maintain a level playing field. The government further says that services should be provided by e-commerce marketplace entity or other entities in which e-commerce marketplace entity has direct or indirect equity participation or common control to vendors on the platform at arm's length in a fair and non-discriminatory manner. Such services will include, but not limited to, fulfillment, logistics, warehousing, advertisement, marketing, payment and finance. Cash back provided by group of companies of marketplace entity to buyers shall be fair and non-discriminatory. For the purposes of this clause, provision of services to any vendor on such terms which are not made available to other vendors in case of circumstances will be deemed unfair and discriminatory by the government. So Rajat, these were the important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. But on the other side, we'll have Prashnakal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please don't go anywhere.
Thank you for watching this edition of the show.